Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this webinar to introduce you to the Send Local Offer, which is brought to you by Buckinghamshire Council. I'm Lucy Warner from Advisor, and I'll be hosting this evening's webinar. We will be recording the webinar, the link of which will be shared with you, and also a copy of the slides as well will be sent as soon as we can following on from this evening's session. Alongside me, I'm very happy to be welcoming Liz Connick, Early Help Digital Manager, and Sam Scoley, Early Help Digital Officer as well. And we may be joined a little later by Carly Price, who is the Send Improvement Programme Manager towards the end. So Liz and Sam are going to be providing an overview of the Send Local Offer main content, and we'll be showing you around the Local Offer website and the directory as well. The session will last no longer than 1 hour, and we will include a Q&A session. So if you do have any questions relating to the Local Offer, please do put those into the Q&A box rather than into the chat box, which has been disabled just to keep everything in one place. Before the session starts, we'd like to gauge your current knowledge of the Local Offer website and the directory. So to do this, we've got a short poll, which we'll also repeat at the end of the session, just to see how things have moved on. So if you can take part in that, we'd really appreciate it. So I'm just going to get the poll up and running. Okay, so hopefully on your screen, you should see a poll. So on a scale of 1 to 5, we'd like to know your knowledge, how you'd rate your knowledge of the Send Local Offer website. So 1 being zero knowledge and 5 being that you have a lot of knowledge of the Local Offer website. And you'll also see there's a second question as well, and that's to do with the Local Offer directory. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your knowledge of that? 1, no knowledge, and 5 being you have a lot of knowledge. Okay. Almost there. Liz, just out of interest, can you see those? Can you see any of the results?
I can't see them because I've got 2 screens open at the moment, and I'm afraid
Yeah,
to go
no,
away.
that's
To go away
fine. Oh, brilliant. We're getting some, I think as more people are joining, we're getting a few more. Okay, brilliant. Few more. 3 more people. Okay, if you're just joining us, welcome. We've just got a poll to see where your knowledge is in terms of the Local Offer website and the Local Offer directory. So if you can cast your vote, and then we'll move on. I think we might have as many as we're getting, so we will end that poll. Okay, so hopefully you can see those results now. So that's where we are. Okay, and what we're going to do at the end of the session is just repeat that as well, so that we can see if there's been any movement forward. Okay, so thank you for doing that. So now I will hand over to Liz to start with this evening's session. Thanks, Liz.
Okay, I'll just move on to our slides until Carly's able to join us. So I'm Liz Connick, as Lucy said, I'm the Early Help Digital Team Manager. So we're part of the Buckinghamshire Family Information Service, which sits under the Children's Services Education and Inclusion team. So Buckinghamshire Family Information Service provides impartial information, advice and guidance for families with children and young people up to 19 and up to 25 with SEND, and also for professionals. The information and our directories are self-help information. So there's lots of information for you to actually look at and help and support yourself. We've also got a dedicated phone line, email support, and outreach from a team of 3 dedicated information outreach officers. So we host the Send Local offer on behalf of Buckinghamshire Council, but we also, it's not our only content. We also have information on all our family centres, parenting courses, lots of things to do, including school holiday activities, support and inclusive activities for young people with SEND, childcare in early years, how to find a childminder, help with childcare costs, education and learning. We've got a youth space area for young people, money and benefits, domestic abuse, health, mental health, and well-being. So we've got a lot of information on our website. Our outreach is delivered to community settings, groups, and professionals, and also our family centres are available for people to actually go to for support as well. So what is the Send local offer? So every local authority is responsible since I think it's September 2015 for publishing a Send um, local offer on the website and making sure it's available for everybody to access. It helps parents, carers, and young people with SEND to understand the range of services and support available in their local area and how to access them. It's also one of our statutory duties under the Send Local Offer and the Children and Families Act. It was relaunched in March 2021. A lot of updates done during COVID, and all the content was written and co-produced with subject matter experts, parents, carers themselves, and young people. And if people ask, obviously, why is it called a local offer? Is a name that was given by the government, so we haven't really got any influence over that name. Hence, we call it the Send Local Offer, so this to actually make it sort of clear. So we're going to just run through the key information that's within our local offer. So these are the sort of 10 key areas which we're going to highlight, but there is other content as well, which I'll just cover briefly on the final slide. Yeah, so in the getting started with Send section, this is the place to go if you're new to Send or don't really know sort of where to start or send information. You want to know more about the local offer, you're looking for support services, or you want to know who to contact if you're not happy. So in the introduction to Send section, you'll find information on the supports available to parents, carers, and young people. You'll find, as I said, you find all about the local offer, what the Send local offer is, and the type of support available, how to access it. Our Send support services include who to contact, such as our colleagues at Sendius, our iSend team, your early help and care coordinators, social, emotional, and mental health SEMH support, our virtual school, first response team, ourselves, the Family Information Service, and directory links to local organisations and services who can support parents with activities like autism support, Send childcare, and family centres. There's also a area of content that was co-produced by the council, fact books, and parent and care support groups on Send jargon, which is an A to Z of Send jargon. So the conditions explained with links to websites and support and resources, an explanation of Send needs such as anxiety, low self-esteem, sort of motor skills, and more. If there's any that are missing, just let us know. We'll happy actually including within that area. The what to do if you're not happy. This tells you the first steps and further steps that you can take, how to raise a formal complaint about mediation, and if you've got any concerns with regards to health and social care services. Our next section, which is one of our most visited sections, is our education and learning section. This also includes content on alternative provision, EHCPs, how to find your ECHO, and Send School transport. But this is in addition to our main section on our website, which Sam will demonstrate earlier, which is a whole section on education and learning itself, which is for everybody. It's not SEND specific. So under our education care plans, it gives you an introduction to EHCPs, how to request an EHC needs assessment, a bit about the assessment process, how to create an EHC plan, and how to disagree with any decision. With the echoes, Sam will demonstrate how to find your annual review echo. Also within that area, it gives the actual role of the echo, and there's a link to content which explains what a SENCO does, what an echo does, for those who do not know the difference between both. Under SEND support and education is information about help for what schools provide, including SEND support and the graduated approach, and about EHCPs also. Under the admissions is help to understand the application process for children with special education needs, and also it includes information on educated otherwise and at school, which we know internally as EOTAS. It gives information on moving between stages of education, support and funding that is available, and there's also a section on mental health support. So our next key section is our money and benefits. So this is like the financial support that's available for children and young people with SEND. So it includes information on benefits for parents and carers and for young people over the age of 16, universal benefits such as childcare, child tax credit, housing benefit, and free school transport. Education benefits such as the 16 to 19 bursary fund, disabled students allowance, and university and college hardship funds. It gives information on SEND travel and transport discounts, personal budgets, direct payments, and schemes of funding that help with childcare costs, such as Disability Access Fund and the different sort of funded childcare options that is available to all parents. Under our health section, it gives an introduction to the SEND health support that's available in Buckinghamshire, what to do if you're concerned about a child, help for children with learning disabilities, information on the Learning Disability Register and the Community Learning Disabilities Health team, and help for children with complex needs such as sort of continuing care. It also has some mental health support from the likes of CAMHS, the mental health support teams, NHS support and mental health services and organisations that can help. It's got help for health conditions associated with SEND. It's got health support and education, help for parents, carers, and how to make a complaint or give a compliment about the health services. So our preparing for adulthood section, or you may have seen this abbreviated to PFA. This will give you an introduction to what you can expect. It gives information on EC plan reviews for their education support for those high needs. It gives information on training, work experience and employment, and help and support in finding a job or building work skills. There's a transition guide also available for parents and carers, advice on living independently, moving to adult social care, how to stay safe if you're a young person with SEND, money benefits and travel discounts, how to stay healthy, and how to socialize and make friends. We're also going to be improving the links later on this year between our adult social care website, which is known as Care Advice Box, especially with the transition from 19 for young people from children's social care to adult social care. Our childcare and early years information, this provides you the types of local childcare providers for children aged 0 to 5 with SEND, how to choose a childcare provider, help to find SEND childcare, for example, through our childcare brokerage service, help with childcare costs for children under 18, help available for children with SEND who are in earlier settings, and there's other information available at sort of family centres, SEND inclusion team, Portage, and on the early years extranet for providers and settings. We have a things to do section for children and young people with SEND, and these are the areas that we highlight within that section. But this is only part of a vast things to do section that we have that's available for everybody. So that give you activities for babies and toddlers, holiday activities, school holiday activities, different clubs and groups, cycling and walks, parks and outdoor spaces you can visit, local attractions, sports and fitness, discounted sports and travel, and also sort of free and low cost things to do. So I would encourage you to look at our main sort of things to do section as well. The Autism Toolbox was reviewed earlier on this year with our colleagues at FactBox and our designated clinical officer, Caroline Hart. And this is available to you if your child has or hasn't an autism diagnosis. It covers areas such as behavior, communication and language, eating, friendships and relationships, leisure, mental health, skills and learning, sensory processing difficulties, toileting, ADHD. It's got local support for advice and information, so support groups, social media groups and websites. It's got other helpful resources such as the Health Passport template and other helpful websites and resources that may be national. There's videos, sort of courses, and a lot more within that area. The Disabled Children Register, it's another statutory duty that we deliver on behalf of Buckinghamshire Council, and this helps us to see the support we need to give people with special education needs and disabilities in Buckinghamshire. So by signing up to this, you can have is with or without an EHCP. So it gives us an overall need sort of within our local area. So in this section, you'll find how to register, how to manage your details. When people sign up, they're also given a Max card. So this gives you discounts on lots of attractions across the UK, such as Madame Tussauds, Legoland, etc. And how to request to replace a Max card, because once issued, they're only valid for 2 years. How to get involved. So you find information here on feedback about the local offer website. It includes feedback for young people and the actions that we've taken based on comments and feedback that we've actually received. There's information on our Shelter for SEND sort of rep group, which is for children and young people aged 12 to 25 with SEND. And that gets them involved in different types of activities, allows them to have a voice and to have their say. There's also Youth Voice Bucks website where there's more information about our shout out for SEND reps. But I would like to encourage you, if you've got any feedback, comments, ideas for improvement, just email us at FizDigital or pick up the phone and call us. We're more than happy to receive feedback and have done from parents over the years. So the other content that I was actually referring to is we've got forms and templates that are useful for parents and carers, such as SEND support plan, EHC plan needs assessment letters, annual review letters, and support questionnaires for targeted short breaks. Carly will probably be able to cover a little bit more about the next sections. We'll go, as she's just joined us. We've got improvement, sort of what we're doing in terms of SEND improvement, and our written statement of action, which was written following our Ofsted and Care Quality Commission inspection in March 2022. We've got different service statements and strategies, such as our accessibility strategy, short break service statements, local area and position statements, and the Buckinghamshire local area strategy, which is their identification to better support children and young people's therapy needs. So the short breaks will give you the type of short breaks available, eligibility and costs, the ones that are funded by the council, activity fees for short breaks, and information on what to do regarding short breaks transport during the school holidays. Our social care section sort of provides information on social care, our children with disabilities team, and who to contact. Carly, would you like to do your bit now before Sam does the demo?
Yeah.
Okay. So following sort of Carly, Sam will do a demo on the recent improvements to our website and directory. So I'll just hand over to Carly now and just go back to her slide.
Evening, everyone. Sorry, had a few technical difficulties joining on Zoom, but yeah, thank you for being here today. So I'm Carly Price, I'm the SEND Improvement Programme Manager, so I oversee the work across education, health and social care, thinking about what the improvements that need to be made to our system and thinking about what that means to our children, young people, families and settings. So within my team, what we do is think about what is the guidance that is set through Ofsted and CQC, and we are preparing for that local area inspection to ensure that children with SEND across Buckinghamshire are achieving the outcomes and aspirations that they wish, and that they're getting access to the right level of support. Part of that work is looking at how we share information across the system, and absolutely feeds into this key piece of work around the local offer. We hold the oversight of the strategic plan. So on the local offer that Liz was just describing earlier, on there we have a link to the existing SEND strategy and our strategic plan, and then details of our Delivering Better Value programme and our £1 million grant that we've had from April until March of next year. And what we do is look at how we can better meet the needs of children and young people across the system to do that together, and working across everyone in the whole partnership, and work across the local offer to make sure that is in the most beneficial way to our families and young people. Liz, I'll go back to you.
Okay. Do you want to stop sharing, Sam, so you can share?
Yes, please. Okay, so that should be showing the Buckinghamshire website. So there's a number of ways you can get to the local offer. First of all, on the main Buckinghamshire Council website, under Schools and Learning, you've got the local offer for SEND here. So that will take you straight into the SEND local offer area on the Family Information Service website. You can also search. So if you use the search box here, if you're looking for content, if you're looking for help and support, you can search that in here and it will bring up our information. So if we head to the local offer to our website, that's a microsite of the main Buckinghamshire website, so it all looks very similar and similar branding. So one of the recent developments is the introduction of these top tasks. These are defined by the analytics. So over the last kind of 12 months, what has been viewed the most on our website. What it does is help us to kind of highlight some pages that are perhaps a little bit harder to find and bringing them up to the forefront. So these are also available on other pages. So for example, on the local offer, these are then tailored to the SEND local offer. We can kind of review these and make sure they're always sort of relevant and up to date. So on the Family Information Service website, as Liz kind of mentioned, there is a lot more to it than just the local offer. We've obviously got the early years and childcare, we've got advice and support, education and learning. You can find out about our family centres, and there's kind of other information. So we really do kind of encourage you to have a look around and see what's suitable for you. We've introduced this new widget onto the directory. So this helps to kind of navigate between the two sites a little bit easier. So if you're looking for support organisations or activities, you can use this. So you can put a search in, you can enter your location and then click search, and that will bring you straight onto our directory. If we just move back to the local offer here. So here, excuse me. So these are the content areas that Liz mentioned. So we've got education and send, money and benefits, health, preparing for adulthood. So really a whole kind of whole host of information available. Again, we have the same directory widget. This will, again, you can use the search. If you click search at the moment, this will pre-filter to the send local offer. So it's only bringing up relevant information and records to the local offer. That will in turn link to our new send directory, which is this one here. What this allows us to do, so this is newly developed, this just allows us to have kind of more categories, more filtering options that are specific to send. So whilst we're in the process of kind of ensuring that all of the relevant records are available on here, that will link to the existing directory, but that in turn will change. If I just go back onto here, so another development, if we look at the EHC coordinators, this before would have been a long page with a list of all the schools in the area split out under 3 areas. It was quite hard to navigate, and our user research showed that often people wouldn't know where to look. So we developed this tool. So you can type in your school. I look for the Misbourne School, click that one. It tells you who the Echo is and what their email address is. You can click this and it will go straight into an email for you. So it's really nice and easy to use. If you look for your school and there's no EHC coordinator, it will tell you that it's awaiting allocation and there'll be a backup email address. So there's always a kind of point of contact. Again, clickable and just takes you straight to an email. And if I just go back, so we have on our family centre pages, you can find your local family centre. We now have the directory records pulling through onto this page. So all of these records will only be what's happening at the Berryfields Family Centre. You can click a record and it brings it straight up on the directory. On our records, there's a good to know section with some kind of key information, lots of information available. You've got point of contacts, you've got send needs, opening hours, things like that. So lots of kind of information available. Just go back. So on the website, it does only show the top 4, but then you can view all activities. And again, it takes you over to the directory. It populates family centres and then the centre that you're looking at. So it's always the most relevant information. While we're on the directory, another improvement we've made is this link that we've got here. So at the moment, we're on the Family Information Service directory. If you were looking for the Buckinghamshire Online Directory, or BOD for short, you've got the link here, because our user research showed that people would often land on the wrong site, not necessarily know they were on the wrong directory, and would struggle to get over to the right one. So we've introduced the link here. So we've got it from the Family Information Service over to BOD, and we have the same from the send directory, which I showed you before, back to the Family Information Service. So it's really kind of easy to navigate around. On the directory, we've introduced further kind of categories to help you filter through. So if I just change here from things to do, we open the categories, and so we've got our top level ones here. This is what was available before, but now we've managed to open up this second level, which just helps you to kind of further kind of narrow down your search and hopefully find the best results for yourself. If we just clear the filters. So another improvement is an improvement to the search. So if we look for a record called Send Peer Support. This should now bring it up right at the top of the page. There we go. So they always appear at the top as it's looking at what's been searched. You can look at you can search by location. So if we was, for example, to use Buckingham, so as I've not put anything in the search at the moment, this is going to look for everything that's within 5 miles of Buckingham. What this will do is it will pinpoint the central location of Buckingham or MK18, and it will then sort the results by distance from that point. So as you can see, less than a mile away. If you're looking for more general information, this is really helpful. So for example, you could put in autism and it would bring up much more relevant results. If you're looking for a much more kind of localized area, you could put in your own postcode, and it will then sort the results by distance from that specific postcode. So the more specific you can go in the location, the more specific it will be to yourself. I think that's probably all. So I'm going to hand back to Liz.
Can I share again? Also, where Sam showed people where he launched a record. You can also see where people have filled in access needs. So whether it's got like a wheelchair accessible ramp, disabled parking space, hearing loop, changing facilities, and that's also available. But that is dependent on, my sharing is a bit slow. That is also dependent on the providers of those services actually filling in that information, which we encourage them to actually do so. So if you want to, we'll be sending out the slides later on. We've got you can scan these QR codes, which will go straight to either directory, and you can use them to find all different types of information which Sam highlighted. So we've also got a section, Schools Web, which is for educational professionals and other professionals in Buckinghamshire. But it's not, but parents may find it useful to access also for information. There's certain areas such as governors and school admissions which are password protected, but includes information on the integrated SEND service teams, internally known as iSend, supporting the graduated approach, funding for schools, annual reviews, training. It's got several toolkits such as the SEND support toolkit. It links to the toolbox, which I should mentioned earlier. We've got a emotionally based school non-attendance toolkit as well for schools. We've got a SEND co-production school toolkit. It also has the termly weekly iSend newsletters, and lots more content as well. So we're just highlighting that to parents, carers as well, because it could be of interest and there's actually information there as well. Again, the QR code will scan, you can go straight to the actual website. So how can you help raise awareness of the Bucks Send local offer? You can use the website and directly find information you need. If you find something that's useful, share it with other parents, carers, families, friends, which may be useful for. You can save the website and directory as bookmarks on your phone, so it's always there should you sort of want to search for information. If you don't find what you want, you need additional support, we've got a dedicated phone line, which goes to our information outreach officers, or you can also email them, and they'll actually sort of get back to you with relevant information. If you can signpost information promoted within your networks, and also, as I said earlier, share your feedback. Tell us what's working well. Is there anything missing? Is there something that's you feel is a frequently asked question? That could be the content could be added to the actual website. But we do encourage you, if you're given feedback, please be specific. Send us the URL of the page you're on. If you find sort of that's where the content is missing, it may be incorrect, etc. But please do share feedback, because it'll help us to continually improve. We've got a range of SEND local offer resources. So internally, as part of the improvements, we've got an e-learning module for professionals within Buckinghamshire Council, which has been designed to, let them know the information available that they have at their hands to help support parents, carers, other professionals, and young people. We've got an animation for parents, carers, which we promoted recently on social media. It's available on our YouTube channel. We've got these young people business cards, which were sort of co-designed with the Shout Out for SEND group in Easter of last year. Yeah, Easter of last year. And we've got also within our directory, there's a page how to use the directory. So if you need support to find out how to actually get the best results from your search, that is currently being populated and being improved on. We've also got our two main Facebook pages. So one's a public Facebook page, which anybody can join. We've also got a private Facebook group for parents and carers, so they can ask questions and get support from a community of parents, carers who've got lots and a wealth of actual knowledge. And we also post relevant information into this group as well. But so I would encourage you to actually sign up and join that group. There's a really, really good community of parents, carers within it. This information as to how you can actually contact us. So there's a telephone line, which is manned between 9 and 5, Monday to Friday. There's an email, and at the end of the phone line, the email is our outreach officers who also go out and about in the community to different settings, groups, and to other sort of professionals, and deliver information on Family Information Service, but also on the SEND local offer. We've got our own main sort of Facebook pages as well, but we've got the local offer ones, which I've already highlighted. So other helpful contacts, we've got our colleagues at SENDIAS, who provide free, partial, and confidential advice and support on all matters relating to SEND children, young people up to the age of 25 and their parents and carers. We've got our colleagues at FACT and Care, Families and Carers Together, known as FACTBUCS. And they're an independent group of parents, carers and professionals who meet and discuss issues that affect children and young people 0 to 25. So I'd encourage you to look at their website and see if they can help support as well. We've got forms and libraries for those who may not have access to the internet if they've got a query which can be completed. That'll make its way to us to actually reply to. I encourage you to speak to your schools for help and support as well, especially your SENCO. We'll include the links within the presentation to our website directories, Schools Web, and the Early Years Extranet. And that's the end of the presentation. So now it's over to you. Thank you for attending. And if there's any questions that people would like to ask, we'll try to answer.
Thanks, Liz, Sam and Carly. Okay, so yes, we do have some questions. Whilst we go through these, if anyone else has got any other questions relating to the local offer and the website, the directory that you've seen today, then please do pop them into the Q&A box and we can get through those. Okay, so is there an accessible page for SEND young adults who cannot read or write?
All our information is actually written in plain English. So we use short sentences and bullet points, which is accessible for screen readers. We don't have easy read sort of pages because we don't have the resources, or we don't have the technical expertise in the team to deliver easy read resources.
But at times I just might add in there, Liz, and I think it's absolutely a really good point. That, I think that we've often got, and I know that we have done some work, particularly when we're developing our strategies around those easy read versions, and we use something called Widget. So I think is something that we need to take away, and we need to continue to push ourselves to make sure that as we're developing those relevant documents, that we're able to provide that
Yeah.
that level of detail. Thank you.
And at the moment, like I said, we can only provide those where they exist in PDF form, which in itself is not an accessible medium. But instead, we do try to make our pages easy to read and try keep to like a low reading age as well. But if there's any content, we've got our youth space area, so if there's any content that you feel like could be included, made simpler for young people, just drop us a line and let us know.
Thank you. There's a question here that says, where it says needs referral, can you please add the entry requirements?
That is something we've been asked to since we launched the actual sort of directory. So when it says needs referral, we ask the people or the service and organizations to put that information into the actual description of what the needs referral actually means. It is something that when someone ticks that box, we chase them to actually do so. But it's a very good point. It is something that sort of, yeah, we do try and encourage people to put in.
Thank you. Do you provide any psychological support for children with autism and ADHD?
That's not something I could be able to answer, obviously within the context of just publishing content on the website. I don't know whether Carly be able to intervene.
I think that's what I would suggest. And I don't know if we've got the number to hand, Liz, but we've got the SEND support line, SEND advice line, and I think that'd be a more appropriate question to go through to that line and get that question answered.
Yeah. And also, like if a person wants to go, they can contact our BFIS duty line, who'll be able to signpost them to those lines.
What does it mean if an independent school is listed as part of the SEND local offer?
We list the independent schools that are SEND, so in and outside the actual county. It's just we're actually required to actually list all schools, even schools out of county, on the SEND local offer, and they all publish their annual report. It doesn't mean anything. Within the special schools section, we have 11 schools that are SEND maintained schools within the county. It's just giving information of alternative provisions that's actually out there. So we do, it can go down as far as Devon, it could cross to Oxford, and go up north. So anybody or any school can actually put their information onto any other county's sort of local offer.
Thank you. I think this was referring to the directory. Can you please add a filter for SEND 18 plus?
There is a filter for age. As you said, our directory is 0 to 19 up to 25 with SEND. So there is actually a min-max age filter that is available.
Who adds information to the directory? Information and activities is all mixed together, so it can be a little bit of a nightmare to find kind of what you're after.
Activities are all under the actual things to do, and they're broken down, like Sam showed, into first level category and second level categories. Anything to do with advice and support is available under an advice and support section. So it's a matter of selecting the actual categories to actually refine the results. You can also use the filters, the SEND needs filters as well. As already said, you can use age filters to get more sort of granular information.
So sort of using those subcategories that are now available will help to find
to actually
what
sort
you're
of break down the information. And you can do that before you even use like a search box, even if you know something specific as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Is there a way to choose a different radius when searching the directory, or is it just 5 miles?
It's something that our directory developer said could be coming in the future, because we meet open data and open referral standards as to where people can choose a distance. But we had to select from 20 miles down to 5, and both Sam and I looked. If we selected, if we had the old a radius. Sort of 20 miles would have gone probably from South Wickham into London. You would go across as far as you'd be gone past Luton Airport. So that's why we took 5 miles as a best result. And then it goes from that point with people search. And then if you've got a postcode, put in your postcode and you'll get more detailed information. But yeah, so there is something that our developer said, something that it wants to implement in the future, but we don't know how far in the future that would be. But it would be nice to be able to select a radius.
Okay, thank you. And just some feedback now, a couple of feedback points. Someone's mentioned on our Space Holiday Club, it says to see Facebook for more info, but not everyone is on social media, so the service isn't accessible to all. Is there any other ways maybe that people can find out information or access those sorts of services that are very social media sort of based?
So if a service has got a record on our listing, we encourage them to put. I mean, we do provide sort of guidance to explain your service. You know how you can access it. We do say put a website, put contact, but we're sort of at the mercy of the services themselves to provide adequate information. But if someone wants to email that one, we can actually chase them up and say we've had feedback. Sort of, can you give us some more information? Based on that. So every time you find something like that, just get in contact with us, and our digital assistant will follow it up and chase them for more information based on that feedback.
That's a really good point, actually, because then you can provide feedback to those services to say, actually, people are calling out to access you in other ways. You know, not everybody is on sort of social media and things. No, that's
it's a good point. It's a good point that not everybody is, but sort of we're finding a lot of people are not even having sort of websites anymore now. They're putting everything onto Facebook and using that as an alternative to a website.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Just on that point, sorry, there is a suggest and edit button. So if you're on a record and you see something like that, for example, if you scroll to the bottom, there's a suggest and edit button, which is quicker and easier for you.
But if you want a response, just put your email address there. Otherwise, it comes through anonymously, and we haven't got a clue who it's actually from.
Okay, thank you. That's good. And just a bit more feedback as part of the EHCP All About Me, where we ask young adults to have a voice. The pages aren't very accessible. So I know that's something you said that you're considering and seeing what can sort of happen. But I think that's a point made that's a page that can be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, if you just we can make a note of that one, because obviously we've got over 800 sort of content pages, so obviously not just on local offer, so I can't bring one that sort of to mind at the moment. Obviously someone's been surfing.
I can absolutely take that forward around the actual EHCP. So yes, there'll be some information about it on the local offer, but I suspect that also relates to the EHCP and the All About Me section maybe not being as accessible as we wish for it to be. So I can absolutely take that away into our wider discussions as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, and that's all. Oh, another one just popped in. It would be helpful to have the category named on each of the directory links, as if you haven't filtered it down, it isn't always clear what it is without going into each one. So it'd be helpful to have the category named on each of the directory links, as if you haven't filtered down to it, because it isn't always clear what it is without going into each one.
Is that from the website to the directory? Is that within the actual directory? I don't know where someone...
For the person that just left that, can you mention whereabouts?
That's what we mean when we say, like, be specific, so it gives us a better chance of actually...
Yeah, within the directory. It says within the directory.
So they want the category?
It would be helpful to have the category named on each of the directory links.
So the categories are named, and if you look at a link in the very top in the URL bar, you'll be able to, it actually names the category and any subcategories that I go to within the URL. I'm not really fully understanding the question. maybe if the person wants to actually contact us outside of this meeting, and we can look through. If you'd like to email, sort of FISDigital, FISDIGITAL @buckinghamshire.gov.uk,
I can
and do a screenshot, or we're quite happy to give you a call. Obviously not this evening, but we'll give you a call back tomorrow.
I just pop that into the chat, that
Okay.
email address.
Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. That's all the questions. Okay, thank you. So all that's left to do now is to do the poll again. So we're just going to run the poll that we ran at the start. So I'm just going to call that up. Okay. Right, so you should see on your screens the polls again. So exact copy of the poll at the start. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your knowledge of the Send Local Offer website? And that is question 1. And the second is about the directory. So again, on a scale of 1 to 5. Okay. We're just waiting to come through. Because that really helps as well as to look at sort of distance travelled, whether the webinar has kind of supported you and introduced you into these tools. And we are offering this webinar as well, you know, a couple of other sessions in the week. So it kind of helps us to see where we're at with things. So no, that's really helpful. Thank you. Okay, and that. Okay, so all that's left to do is to thank you all for joining us this evening, for your questions. You know, that's really good because it can help us, you know, other people might have the same questions as well. So that it's really helpful for you getting involved. And also to thank our presenters today. So thank you, Carly, Liz and Sam. And it's really helpful not only to hear about the local offer, but also, and the tools, but also to see them in action as well. So the demo is really helpful. So thank you ever so much. As we said at the start, the slides and the recording will be shared, and they will be shared via Eventbrite. So you'll get an email that comes from Eventbrite that will have those links for you to access them. So do look out for that. If any of your Eventbrite emails have been going into your junk, I noticed we had someone that hadn't received the link, then do just keep your eye on your junk and spam folders because they may be sat in there. But thanks ever so much for joining, and have a nice evening.
Okay, thank you.